It is a common known fact that different people have different perspectives. And so different people have different perspectives, which means an author is going to have a different perspective from another author. But authors tell a story from their own perspective. So if authors tell a story from their own perspective, and different people have different perspectives, that means that authors tell the same story differently. Authors tell the same story differently, not necessarily because one is trying to intentionally lie, but it's because they tell it according to their point of view. They tell the same story differently because they emphasize different aspects relative to their views. So a prime example of this is a situation in which two people get into an argument. One person may blame the other for something, and the second person may not see himself at fault, but rather think that his friend did something wrong first. It is for this reason that we had the expression to stand in someone else's shoes. In this way, the same situation may be explained or described differently by two different authors. Another example of this is, say, someone saw a car wreck happen. And so a truck hits a van. And so there's two viewers, and so viewer 1 sees the accident occur and says that the truck is at fault. So I'll draw an arrow right here and write fault. Because viewer 1 thinks the truck is at fault because they saw the truck hit the van. But then viewer 2 was paying more attention to detail. And he casts fault on the van because the van ran a red light. And so because the van ran a red light, it wasn't supposed to be in the intersection, so that's why the truck hit the van, because the truck had a green light, but the van had a red light. So we have viewer 1 and viewer 2, and so both are just going off what they saw from their point of view, from their angle, based on the information that they know. Viewer 1 thinks the truck's at fault, while viewer 2 thinks the van is at fault. So you can see here, both from this example and the earlier example I talked about with arguments, how people's point of view causes them to emphasize different aspects of a certain story. And so that's why two authors can tell the same story two different ways.